puppy trades! I noticed my last video I lost a little bit of pizzazz. And I think the reason is because, puppy trades without the truth content is kind of like Lil Wayne without the braids. It's kind of like Snoop Dogg without the ganja. You know what I mean? Like, you need the tweak stuff. You need the truther stuff for it to be puppy trades. Does that make sense? I can't just make a video about Nvidia. What fun would that be? If I just made a video about how this was a leading diagonal in whatever degree, and a wave 5 to this upper trend line was expected. All right, guys, that's the video. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 5 to this upper trend line, at least the length of wave 1, place at the wave 4 low is expected. That takes Nvidia up to the 160s. All right, guys. Maybe that'd be fun, but I've already done that so many times with Nvidia. We've got the entire chart of Nvidia mapped out for literally years. Move after move after move after move. I've been doing that. But I talked about how Nvidia had this lore. What Nvidia means in a specific language. Do you understand how so many people in finance, they really want to pretend that they don't have to take English class, right? They're really that kid that thought that they were going to go all through high school, all through college, and they'd never have to take English class, ever. And maybe they did, and they were just like, yeah, whatever, curtains blue, if the curtains are blue, that means people are sad. All right, fine. I'll write that down. I'll write down the curtains are blue, people must be sad. And whatever, man. Right? But I think in the stock market, when you have the fear index, you're literally looking at large institutions gambling or buying insurance, whatever you want to call it. You're looking at large institutions gambling on the fear of society. That's when you have to wake up. That's really when you have to wake up. I feel like every single person should just be told this morning, large financial institutions are gambling on the fear of society. That includes fear you are going to experience. And this isn't just some jargon. When the COVID-19 crisis happens, we see the volatility index explode, and we see fear in real life. And your friends are calling you about it. They're talking about the Dow Jones, and what do we say? Your buddy calling you and talking about the Dow Jones is a bottom signal. And what happened? It's a bottom signal. My buddy called me telling me about the Dow Jones at the literal bottom, perfectly, of the COVID-19 pandemic. And so these are real things, even though they feel abstract. And we look at some of my most recent tweets and we say, damn, from this account and from Blue Pilled Pup, we say, damn. I said, the holidays are over, but alt season is just beginning. Why I said, don't get drunk on 1/1/25. Now, I know most of you are going to think that I'm just trying to be funny, right? Don't get drunk on 1/1/25. But I actually did say don't get drunk and party a lot on 1/1/25. And I specifically said you're going to want to be kind of inside watching cryptocurrency on 1/1/25. You're probably not going to want to be out at one of these big places that's celebrating the new year. Because of cryptocurrency, of course. Because I got a decode from someone named Arya, who said that we were about to see some Arya on December 19th. Read it and weep. She said, Sonic the Hedgehog, Crypto.com is kindly giving us the date of liftoff. Sonic equals 60, Hedgehog equals 59, counting down from the arrival of the Love on the night of 11/2 to 11/3. 59 days is 12/31/24. 60 days is 1/1/25. And remember exactly what happened on 1/1/25. Stellar Lumens exploded. And I said Stellar Lumens is going to explode on 1/1/25. And I said, don't forget Shiba Inu coin too. Arya is a Stellar decoder. It looks like she got comms that Stellar XLM is going to take off early into the new year. Like really early. Taylor Swift was surprised with a quiet dinner, which equals XLM, Shiba Inu, and Flocky, with a friend whose name matches Happy New Year. So I said, I think she's right. I think she's right about this surprise party that we're all going to get on New Year's Day. Don't get too turned up. Don't get too turned up on New Year's Day, because there's going to be an explosive move from the X cryptocurrencies. Let's see what Blue Pill Pup had to say. I've talked about the forward-looking, what this is leading to, what they're programming you for. And you know what? Now people are starting to wake up to it. You know, central casting is trending. Why is central casting trending? I wonder why central casting is trending. Central casting is trending because people are realizing that this guy who blew up a Cybertruck was on the History Channel. And this guy named Tim Kennedy, who apparently is in the MMA, said 13 years ago, I competed in a shooting competition on History Channel called the Ultimate Soldiers Challenge. My partner in this competition was Matt Berg, aka Matt Livelsberg. Last night when I saw the old photos of him on the news, I put together that it was the same guy. And if you pay attention to the news, you'll find this happens pretty often, that a random guy like George Floyd, a random guy like some guy at a Yankees game who messes with a home run, happens to have a best friend in the NBA, or he happens to have a best friend in the NFL. And that best friend in the NFL or NBA is on TV to talk about it the next day. But people are like, wow. And, you know, talking about Luigi Mangione, is he part of central casting? Is he part of MK Ultra? And these people have been talking about this. The Q people, remember this account specifically was able to predict that Asheville was going to be flooded because he knew about the Biltmore estate. And lo and behold, the Biltmore estate was flooded. And I actually predicted a Katrina-like event, which included Hurricane Milton, where I predicted Disney World to be flooded. And I predicted that we were going to see a Hurricane Katrina-like event, which did happen. But these people have been talking about central casting for a long time. People have been talking about how Nancy Pelosi looks a little different. I've been talking about how Nancy Pelosi looks a little different. But anyway, you know, now people are wondering, where's this all going? And what's the truth? We know where this is going. Right? What'd she just say about Nancy Pelosi? What'd she just say about Nancy Pelosi? Pelosi, you either had plastic surgery or needed an adrenochrome fix, or both, but your hip did not recover this fast. I'm in total agreement. And then she said, because one impersonator broke their hip and the other impersonator recovered. Maybe just send an email to one of the lunatic liberal circus clown ringleaders over at Central Casting. Huh? They're talking about Nancy Pelosi might be being played by an actor and she needs an adrenochrome fix. Well, that's interesting because I'm talking about how some guy named Tiger matches up perfectly with this adrenochrome. And how Elon Musk posted that a guy named Tiger or a tiger was going to be flicked. And then this man named Tiger, who played for the Princeton Tigers, he got flipped on New Year's Day. And Elon Musk's post was referencing New Year's Day. 2025, here we come. And I talked about how this was part of a military operation called Operation Night Rise. And how Follow the White Rabbit equals Tiger Beck 28, and Down the Rabbit Hole 53 catches are anagrams. And you look at what this article is focusing on, his 53 catches and his 28th birthday, even though he's 27. So why are they focusing on these seemingly arbitrary details? It's because they both match up with Down the Rabbit Hole and Follow the White Rabbit, which they want you to focus on because they are going to tell you people like Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton and yes, Elon Musk consumed adrenochrome. That's why Elon Musk is able to make these insane predictions. He's able to say the Cybertruck looks like the future. This Cybertruck is on fire. And he posts that 2 days before a Cybertruck explodes in front of Donald Trump's building. And he posted exciting times were ahead with a tiger getting his balls flicked. Like how Tiger got flicked on New Year's Day, and he's talking about 2025, here we go. Like right when 2025 happens, a tiger is going to get flicked. And hey, in the future, a Cybertruck is going to be on fire. In the minds of the masses. So it's no coincidence that I put uranium in between these two posts. And I say, hey, if you're wondering where this is all going, the stock market and common knowledge at this point is saying that this is going towards, we're going to have nuclear war this year. Because the Notre Dame, Georgia Sugar Bowl was canceled and his license plate was LZ1575. And that matches up with nuclear war this year. And I connected it to Ripple and Stellar Lumens. What do you know? January 1st, December 30th, I'm talking about a Ripple Stellar Lumens decode. The Lucali TaskRabbit is synced up with Brad Garlinghouse. This article about a Lucali TaskRabbit is comms to remind all Bitcoin holders that it was used to traffic, in quotes, pizza, like adrenochrome and child trafficking, and that eventually it will have a crash, while ISO 2000 compliant coins go to the moon, an event known as the switch being flipped. I tagged XRP and XLM. What happened right after that? XRP and XLM exploded. I've talked about how they made the decoding they actually made very easy. I talked about how they made the Elliott wave of gold and silver very difficult. And what do you know? Gold and silver, the keyline flight, was a perfect anagram. And I said, hey, this is comms to buy gold and silver. And it's a ritual that only people who know about Freemasonry and the Jesuit order and other things would be able to piece together that that's what is going on here. That this is a ritual the Gonzaga team is being put through. And that this ritual is telling members of the elites to buy gold and silver. And it's also doing this in the minds of the masses. Because the US dollar is backed by faith. That means you need to believe there are real things controlling these price movements. You need to hear about the Gonzaga keyline flights so that it makes sense why gold and silver are rallying. You might even have, I feel like gold and silver are rallying for some reason. Or you might feel like something bad's about to happen. Or you might feel like some big news story is coming. Like they're about to tell us something crazy. Like how Bitcoin was used to traffic pizza. Or how they're about to have psychological operations with 2 members of the army who were in the same fort. It's almost like they're trying to tell us the military is putting on these psychological operations. Well, guess what? They are. And the military is about to tell you, about to put on a really big psychological operation, and it's called nuclear war. And a big reason they have to do that has to do with Ripple and stellar lumens. So I say, yeah, don't go out and get drunk on New Year's Day. We're going to have an explosive move on 1/1/25. You don't want to get drunk on 1/1/25. If you're shorting crypto, right? Of course, that's what I was referring to. If you're shorting crypto, that's what I meant, right? So if people ever come to your house and they say, hey, you know how we talk, you know how we communicate, we can't really say it, right? We can't really say it, but you know what we really mean, right? That's called doublespeak. And a guy named George Orwell warned you about that. So anyway, yeah, Nvidia, the liquidity flood. Why is Nvidia going to cause the liquidity flood? Because it's making all these semiconductors, and it's got a big rivalry with Taiwan Semiconductors, which is in the Eurasia, sorry, not the Eurasia, well, it is in the Eurasia, the Japan region. And if you know about Japan and Ripple, then you know about the liquidity flood. Of course, I've made this blatantly clear, the connection between Japan, Ripple, and the liquidity flood, and how there is a mega quake warning in Japan right now. How Japan could cause a liquidity crisis, whether it is metaphorical or not. It affects the stock market and it affects Nvidia. So anyway, this is wave 1 and wave 2. Wave 3 and an ABC wave 4. Now you're going to notice this wave 4 breaches this wave 1 high, and you're going to notice that wave 5 then would also be wave 5 is going to begin well below this wave 1 high. So that's because this is a leading diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up. We'll talk about the other way to diagram this leading diagonal in a second. Let me get this picture right here. Oops, that's Recor. Recor looks beautiful, but that's not what I meant to talk about. 1, 2, 3, 4, wave 5 in progress. The length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low takes wave 5 up to 155. And then from this low, 1, 2, the invalidation is going to be 133.83. I'm looking for Nvidia to go to at least 166 above 133. I want to talk about another way to diagram this that's a little more bullish. That's if Nvidia is entering wave 5. Another way to diagram this is that Nvidia has already ended an entire leading diagonal, and that leading diagonal took the form of a wave 1. So then this could be a wave 2 correction, and this could be wave 3. So that would postpone the liquidity crisis even further. In this scenario, suppose this is wave 3 in progress. Remember, this is all valid above 133. This could be 1 ABC2 and then 1 2 from this low. In that scenario, wave 3, the target is not the length of wave 1, that small wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low. It's the target of this big wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low. In that situation, we could see Nvidia go up into the upper 180s for wave 3 before a shallow wave 4 and a wave 5 higher.